Hi, today we are going to talk about the difference between what we, Hidden Fence of Minnesota, provide, which is an in-ground, in-wired system, as opposed to the GPS systems like Halo or Spot On or some of the other brands. And there is a big difference. They are not the same. They advertise themselves to be containment, but there are some things about it that we're going to explain here about that they're probably not the most appropriate for containment, especially if you live on a smaller property that's maybe a half acre or less, because of the accuracy of the way that GPS works. So I'm going to let Courtney explain some of this because she's done the research on it, and then we'll kind of chime in.
Well, that sounds good.
Yeah.
So basically, what I was looking at, differences between Halo and Spot On, they're both attractive options because obviously they say they're wireless, you can go anywhere with it. There's just a couple things to be aware of if that's the avenue you're looking for. They do recommend that your property is over a half acre because you do need that 15-foot buffer zone if there's anything blocking the sky or you have some heavy tree cover.
15 feet.
Yeah.
That to me doesn't, I mean, on a half acre property, you're losing the majority of your yard if that's the case. Wow.
Right, yep. And so they're more ideal for like more acreage, but again, the Spot On does have like a forest mode you can use, but it's kind of particular. You're walking your yard with the collar both times, you're creating that perimeter with it, and saving that. It'll put like little pins down where you want your boundary to be on your phone on the app. But basically you're drawing it out that way. I don't know, it's so much different than like our home containment. It's more meant for bigger areas, and like if you're traveling a lot, I would just ask like how many times of your traveling do you travel with your dog? Is it a safety feature, like if you're gonna want the tracking for if they get lost? That could be definitely valid points, but it's not so much for your home.
Yeah.
It's more of a carry-on, kind of an extension of what our system does, but it's not designed to be for your home.
Well, and what we have is we have the wire in the ground, which is a fixed location.
Yep.
It's not plus or minus, it's right on. And we can get the dog to within a foot of that wire with our collar. So the buffer into the yard is minimal and it's accurate. With the GPS systems, plus or minus 5 or 10 or 15 feet or whatever they say, that's a big variance. That's whether your dog is in the street or in the neighbor's yard or not. And it to me is just, we're not even talking apples to apples here. We're talking apples and oranges. And I think the attractive feature of the GPS is the tracking component. But the whole point is we contain the dog in the yard. You don't need tracking for that. If the dog does escape, then our job is to prevent that from happening. So the dog should not be escaping, and during the initial training session and the subsequent sessions, we're in contact with the customer to make sure the dog is contained, and if they're not, we're out there to make sure we get the right settings so that they don't escape.
Right.
If you definitely need some sort of tracking for your dog, the cellular companies provide options for that you can clip the little thing right on the dog's collar.
Yeah.
And if they did escape, now your tracking would kick in from that end. But again, we're a containment company. We're not into, gee, if your dog escapes twice a week, how do we track them across the neighborhood so that we know where they are? That's if our systems were that unreliable, we wouldn't be in business.
Right.
So the point is that the GPS systems, because I think you're probably going to have dogs escaping more frequently, my guess is.
Yeah, or just in the wrong area. Like they're off because people have reached out to us, like customers of ours have been like, I have the Halo collar, it's projecting so many feet into my neighbor's yard, I need a solution, need to figure out how to get them right on. And it's like, well, ours is right on.
That's
you
right.
Bury the line where you ask us to on the property lines, and then that's where it is, that's where it stays. So
sure.
It's a little more trustworthy in that sense. But I mean, it's I would say if you do need something more wireless or something like that, I would definitely recommend checking out Spot On. Just because of the more reliability, their customer service, Halo customer service at this point, from what I've seen and just read up on, it's just not super great.
A lot to be desired.
Yeah, you're on like a cell phone plan. In addition to the collar price itself, you have that cell phone plan, and sometimes they don't cancel that if you have a problem, and you're being charged that until you get your replacement or your money refunded, which is a very short window time frame as well. You have to get through your training to even decide if you like it first. That's usually like 21 days, and then their window is about 30. So you don't have a lot of time to make up your mind, and it's just very short windows to work with. It's like,
well, compared to our 1 year satisfaction guarantee, where that's a long time to know and to give us the opportunity to work through any problems that come up. We have people that will have us put a system in January.
Yeah.
Okay, well, not everybody's going to be out doing a lot of training or a lot of activity with their dog in January, February, maybe even March. They don't get out to the yard until April to really see that their dog is contained, to their satisfaction. So you have plenty of time with us to evaluate whether it's working, to be in constant communication with us, telling us what's going on, because we have that on-site service guarantee. If there's a problem, we may go out 1 or 2 times after the initial to just verify that everything is working the way it's supposed to, if there's a problem, and if we can diagnose that very easily. So you're not going to be under this 21-day time crunch to figure out, is this or is this not going to work?
Right.
So
and I think a lot of people are kind of pulled because it's Cesar Millan, and he is a very good dog trainer, but you do not need Cesar Millan to train your dog. It's a very simple process. I mean, we're there every step of the way from day one, and it's like, if you have any questions, if you need anything, like, we're happy to help, and you can get those questions answered over the phone, or we can actually come out again, show you everything if you need that. But just the support, it's like, you want to feel supported. It's a big decision because it's new for your dog, it's new for your family, it's just new for everybody, and it's like, you want to have that time to really get to know it, see how it works, take a breath, and be like, is this something we want to keep doing, and just be confident in it.
Sure. All right. Well, I think that's good information. So choose wisely, and if you have any questions, get a hold of us.